Hey guys, so today we're back with that 1979 Camaro that hasn't ran in 47 years. So my goal, last video, I got it all cleaned up, got it looking good. And so now I hope to go and try to get it started up, potentially drive it. I don't know, we'll see. One of the things I'm really excited about whenever I come back here is going to Casey's right here, Casey's Breakfast Pizza. So we're gonna get this morning started off right with some Casey's Breakfast Pizza. So here it is, guys. It's been sitting covered up this whole time. So it was about a year ago that we were here last working on the car and got it all cleaned up. And now here we are. Today we're gonna try to get it running. I'm gonna pull the cover off of it here in a little bit, start going through it. Some of the things I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull all the plugs, squirt a little dab of mystery oil in each one of the cylinders, let it rest for a little bit, then rotate it over so that it actually rotates the cylinders, cleans them up. All right, let's get this cover off and see if it still looks as good as when we put it away.
I was really glad he put the tarp on there.
All right, so let's get this cover off and see if it still looks as good as when we put the cover on.
I knew based off of the cleanliness of the blankets that it was probably going to be good underneath that tarp, but I still didn't know.
We got all the covers off of it, and here it is. Just as pretty as it was the last video. So some of you guys were asking about the Oldsmobile here last time. So it still sits. I need to wash it next, but this is how it stands currently. I think it's unlocked. So we got to clean it out, some of the stuff on the inside, but I was looking at inside the Camaro and I found the paperwork for the Oldsmobile. So it's an 84 Cutlass Cialis Coupe, I think they call it. But I was looking and it's got this is the Hurst package, where it's a Hurst old specialty car. 4-speed auto overdrive transmission, Hurst lightning rod shifter system. That's what's the cool thing about this one. Dual exhaust. So that was a $1,995 option back then for a total of $15,183. So I made a mistake as I was sitting here reading this paperwork. I didn't flip it over, and it actually came with a 5-liter V8 LV2, which was a 307 cubic inch engine back in the day. So it even goes into the specific camshafts and carburation. I guess for this Hertz old package, that was all included in there. So for $19,995, you got all that stuff. So it upgraded it from that 3.8 liter V6 to the 5-liter V8 for $2,000. That's a steal. So that's the Oldsmobile. Everybody was asking about that one in the video last time. We'll get it cleaned up next time. But today, let's focus on the Camaro again. So we're gonna get the hood popped open on it and see if we can get going on getting the old fuel out, getting the new fuel in, getting the old oil out, getting the new oil in, and going from there. All right, so I'm gonna push it forward just a little bit so I can access the back. So the gas tank is in the back of it. Oh, well, obviously the gas tank is in the back, but the actual gas filler is in the back. I'm gonna push it forward so I get a little bit more room because I wanna work on getting that gas out of there first thing.
It actually rolls pretty easily. Despite the rotors or drums, I'm not even sure what it has, being pretty rusty. You can hear it kind of scraping the rust off.
All right, we got a fuel transfer pump here, a little transfer, and an old gas tank that we're gonna put the gas into.
I'm really excited we got away from the fillers and the bumpers like this because it's really difficult at a gas station, people coming up to you.
Oh yeah, she smells like she's been in there for a little while.
And then want to talk about the car while you're sitting there bent over.
Now I don't think this one has an anti-siphon valve, so we should be able to go right down into the bottom of the tank, which it sounds like it is now, so let's see if we can get any fuel out of here. So far it's dry.
I pumped this thing like crazy and didn't get anything.
Either got it in too far or not far enough.
That's what she said.
Not getting anything out of here, or it's bone dry. You know what we'll do? We'll look inside there with the camera. Now we're making our way down. And then it gets into the tank and I don't see any fuel anywhere. So we might not have any fuel in there. We thought that it did have a little bit, but it might have evaporated or leaked out because I don't see anything. Just some junk on the fill tube. All right, so since I don't hear any fuel in there, I'm gonna add some.
And before anybody asks, yes, this is ethanol-free fuel, only like 3 gallons.
All right, so we got about probably 3 gallons of fresh fuel in there now. So at least we know starting off with good fuel. Should be, if there's nothing in there. All right, let's see if we still got everything's good under here. Oh, I've forgotten how to open it. Way under there, oh my gosh. Oh, I'll find it now that I know where to go. Oh.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that lever to open the hood up. So this is just a quick walk around of it. I hadn't really shown the engine compartment last time. Everything looks pretty good. It's pretty dirty, pretty surface rusty, but nothing serious, no deep rust or anything like that. So I'd like to get that taken care of soon, so that way we don't have to deal with big rust later on down the road. But here I'm just taking the air filter cap off.
Get all that cleaned out of there. Filter's obviously still in great shape. No need to replace that.
I almost wonder if he changed that up because it looked almost brand new. He said he didn't, but now I'm just trying to figure out how to get this air cleaner off without pulling any of the vacuum hoses or anything like that off. This one right here was on there pretty good, so I had to use this flat tip screwdriver to help get the hose off. This is when we started getting into weird emission stuff. So, you know, you would hope that the engine compartment was going to be wide open, but it really wasn't. It was quite cramped for the year and the size. Look at all that.
Gotta get a thumbnail here. This will be the...
All that crap was falling out. All the acorns and everything from a squirrel or something that had gotten in there. I thought it was kind of funny. So there's some more of the acorns underneath the air filter by the carb. All the different emission lines and vacuum hoses and stuff. One of the things I wanted to do is make sure the transmission was good, because they thought that the transmission was leaking at one point, but I just wanted to make sure that it had fluid in it, and it did. I never got it hot enough to check it on the actual level.
Oh, nice. Good coolant in there.
So yeah, everything looked pretty good on the coolant side there. Had a nice level in it. I wanted to clean off some of that corrosion before I put the cap back on. Cap went on pretty easily. Seemed like it was good. Then I just lubed up some of these butterflies and all the different throttle linkages and everything there. I just wanted to make sure that they were all lubed up, moving freely. And then I started the task of removing all the spark plugs. And this is the first one that I pulled out, and I was shocked because that's what it looked like. And then he admitted that he had messed with them and tried to change them out before, but he only did that one and then left it alone.
So there's the top of the cylinder. Unfortunately, the cylinder is almost at the top of... It's at almost top dead center. So I can't really see the cylinder wall. I can see a little bit of the cylinder wall over there. But you can see it there. Oh man, you can almost see the cross hatching.
And yeah, you can see the top of the piston there. The spark plug hole looked pretty good. And it's kind of crazy to see inside of there. So now I'm continuing to take off the other spark plugs. So there's the next one. They all look pretty good. One of the things I found out, and it was kind of annoying, was with all these new emissions, this one has AC, so you can see I'm reaching around the AC right now. I totally thought this was going to be a way easier job than what it actually was. There's the next spark plug. I didn't actually get the last spark plug on that side. And then I'm putting in the Marvel Mystery Oil, letting it sit inside the cylinders while I'm going to switch to the other side and take those spark plugs out. So now on this side, now you have the AC actual compressor in the way. So again, having all these accessories like the air conditioning and emissions made it very difficult to get these darn spark plugs out. So I did 3 on each side, and I'll have to come back and do the other 2 at a later point in time. But kind of the goal was to get the thing running, and I figured at least it would be able to run on 6 cylinders. But every spark plug that I pulled out, it looked like it was in pretty good condition. So the likelihood of those 2 being destroyed, I thought were pretty low. So I went ahead and sent it. This is inside the cylinder on this side, and you can see it's super clean. I was surprised at how you could still see that cross hatching. The top of the pistons had 0 carbon on them. I mean, they look brand new, which is crazy because they're 47 years old. So I couldn't even see any carbon on there. So now I'm taking off the fender bracket here. This goes over top of the battery. You can see the battery underneath of there. Put those back in there so I don't lose them. Thank you. And so now this is the battery hold down, one little bolt. Battery hold down. Now I'm taking off the negative and the positive leads, just a little 8mm bolt. Pretty standard, just like your batteries with side posts today. And you can see the freeze plug. I think they call it the freeze plug. It's out on the top of that battery there. That's what's poking out the top, I think, with a little sight glass. Drop the new battery in there. Get it all tightened up. We just stole this one out of another vehicle. So I was going to get a new battery.
So he was saying that this is the original battery, which I found crazy because it's like, they haven't changed. Same sticker and everything. And that long. So can somebody confirm that? This is the numbers on it. Is it worth anything? Let me know. We now have a new battery in there. All the plugs are pulled with the exception of 2. We had mystery oil sitting in the cylinders for about 30 minutes. And so now I'm gonna try to just hand crank it over, see if we can blow all the mystery oil out of there, get it to turn over, and then look at draining the oil, go from there. Let's see if it cranks over.
So I'm pretty nervous here because this thing hasn't been started in like 46 odd years. And I didn't know what was going to happen. And I really didn't want it to just be locked up because I'd put quite a bit of time into it. So I'm pretty nervous here.
Keep my foot on the brake. Good. Good. That's good. It almost sounded like it was trying to fire off on just the 2 cylinders, which is crazy. So we're good. The engine cranks over just perfectly fine. Should have spit out our Marvel mystery oil down here. Yep, you can see a little bit of it. So that's a good sign.
Now I had to bring along this jack so I could jack everything up because I didn't remember what tools that they had. So my jack and my jack stand normally is lifting Teslas. Now it's lifting old Camaros.
Got her up on jack stands. Now we're gonna drain the oil.
So I had some little cardboard there so I didn't get all dirty. Slid right underneath of there. And then I just used my drain pan that I brought along. As you can still see there, it's a little dirty. But look at that oil. It is black. It wasn't all that thick. It looks really thick here, but it really wasn't. It was pretty normal. About a 10W40 after a lot of years. So I'm just looking around now, all the cobwebs and everything, but I'm looking at the rust and, you know, it sucks, but it's not terrible. I don't think that they had the best materials back then. So it's all pretty rusty for how little of miles that are on it, but I'd like to get it cleaned up and put some corrosion preventative on there. Oil's about drained out. So now I started working on the oil filter, and you can see just the oil filter, even though it's painted, it's still rusty. So pulling that down, obviously leaking around there. And here's the original oil filter. And I noticed there was a piece of shiny metal on it. And I was a little concerned about it. You can see it right there. Not exactly sure what that was all about, but hopefully it's no big deal. In the previous video, people were talking about the tires, how they didn't look original. So I wanted to get a video of that for you guys. I assume they're original. He told me they're original. So hopefully this proves that they are original tire. What that really matters, I don't know. But there was a lot of people that are arguing about the tires not being original in the last video. So here's inside of the valve cover. I was looking at the valves. They're still got the paint on them. So now it's time to fill her back up with some oil. Nothing crazy here, just some conventional 10W30 Valvoline. Put a little oil on the valve cover cap. And here's the spark plugs. Got some AC Delco spark plugs.
Look at the difference in the two over the years. So these are both the same part numbers. AC Delco R45 TS, right? So the porcelain's the same. But you see the rest of it? It's a lot longer. Kind of crazy.
I just thought it was weird how over the years they just changed it, but it still has the same part number. So now I'm going to start putting all the spark plugs back in their holes. Again, this was easier said than done. So each one of the holes is its own new challenge. Sometimes I was going in through the fender well. That was working out pretty well too.
And the next step will be see if we can fire this baby off.
Checking the oil, making sure that's all good.
This is why I work on Teslas now. Look at all that.
I can't handle this real old man stuff anymore. All right, so I decided I was gonna put the air cleaner back on. Hook up this tube that controls that valve that's inside the air intake system right there. And so now I'm just seating it down into the correct orientation, getting all these lines hooked up to it. This is one of the emissions that went down to the exhaust manifold. I guess it pulls hot air off the manifold. Not exactly sure why, but it does that. So I got that hooked up. And then the rest of the air intake that pulls off of the front of the car, so it doesn't just sit at the top. I guess the old school cold air intake, if you will. And so now I've got it set back down into place. Checking over all my fittings. Now it's time to add a little brake parts cleaner. Okay, we got our oil. Got all of our spark plugs. It's up on jacks, but that's okay. I'll make sure it's in park. You'll be able to give her a try. Oh my gosh. That fired right up. That was literally no stage. That was nothing staged about that. What you saw there was actually what happened. I put a little bit of brake parts cleaner in there and it fired up right on the first rip. That was so easy. I'm gonna put a little bit more brake parts cleaner in there because I don't think it has any fuel going to it yet. What kind of weak spray was that?
Until it gets primed up. That was so easy. Have to get a prime. So just how I was doing, just a light coating, yeah.
He definitely didn't do a light coating. Now the only way we can get it to stay running was through this brake parts cleaner. But it sounds good.
Oh, my bad. Wow, it's awesome. I mean, it sounds great. You just gotta get fuel in there. I don't know. We'll let some of the smoke clear out back here. I can't believe it fired up that easily. It's smoky back here. Check it out.
So I pretty much ran out of time at that point, but I was happy. I got it running. We knew it ran. Now the next thing is troubleshooting the fuel system. And that's a whole nother can of worms. I need to clean the tank, clean the lines, carburetor, fuel pump, all that jazz.
So what is he going to do with it? He's just going to look at it?
That's correct.
You boys are weird. I'm messing.
So yeah, like she said, basically just getting it cleaned up for no reason, getting it running for no reason, because he's not going to drive it anytime soon.
All right, guys, well, that's a wrap. We were able to get it started, but basically just ran off a brake parts cleaner. So I need to troubleshoot the fuel system next. Let me know if you have any suggestions on what I should do to try to figure out the fuel system, because right now, I think that's all it is. It's getting spark, it's getting air, it's just a matter of fuels. Everything else is good. We're gonna put her back to bed, just like we were, and then hopefully come back and clean up this one next. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.